Welcome back to Good Morning KU. I'm Gavin.
And I'm Mackenzie. So did you end up watching the game over the weekend?
I did not, unfortunately. I was working. How about you?
No, I was back home, so I really didn't even think twice about it.
Yeah. And you heard about all the the uptick in COVID cases
Yeah,
here?
so for KU, we have 8 new positive cases, which makes us in the 3.33% positivity rate. So it's about the same as last week in the positivity rate and everything, but yeah, I mean.
Have you known anybody that's gotten sick? Or had
back
any close calls
home-
yourself?
Back home I have. I haven't gotten sick at all from what I know. Some of my friends did this summer, but anyone you know?
Not anybody that I know, no. A couple of my friends did actually test positive for the antibodies.
Okay,
funnily
yeah.
enough, but
Over the summer, my mom had it, which was
really?
weird because I didn't get any symptoms, so I was exposed to it. But I mean, yeah, that was.
Was it just limited to your mom and your house?
Me and my sister did not get it at all, and I took care of her all
Yeah.
week, and I mean, I definitely was exposed to it, but I mean, that was that.
Yeah.
But are you planning on watching the game this weekend or?
If I can, yeah, I'm gonna be working a lot over Halloween as
Yeah.
well, unfortunately.
What are you working on?
I'm a pizza boy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna, it's my friend's birthday this weekend, so we're trying to get together, but I mean, can't have too big of a crowd or anything,
Yeah.
but yeah. Have you voted yet, or do you plan on voting?
I did vote. I did a mail-in ballot vote, and yeah, I sent it in over the weekend. So.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, I went home this weekend to Chicago and voted with my mom in my hometown, and then I noticed, because last week on the show we were talking about how Douglas County, they were planning on reopening their schools for preschool level and elementary. So I was seeing how things are back home and at my elementary school and everything, and they have no plan to reopen or anything. So it was interesting to see that they are refusing to open, and then here they have all these big plans, and it's looking really hopeful. So,
Yeah.
But yeah. So, have you been keeping up with the World Series at all?
A tad bit, yeah, not much. Not since the Royals were last in it years ago.
Yeah, I mean, all I know is it's been back and forth between the Dodgers and Rays winning. But yeah, I really don't have a favorite yet. So,
Do you have plans for Halloween?
Not really. I mean, we're gonna try and hang out with my friends and stuff, but not big plans much. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Halloween from your childhood or something?
When I was in elementary school, we used to go to the old folks' home, and we'd all dress up in our costumes, and then we'd put on we'd walk around, and they'd get to see us, and that was just such a fun memory when I was younger.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Yeah.
I used to going to the haunted houses downtown, and then apparently I think last weekend or maybe the weekend before, somebody got shot at the edge of hell. Yeah, so
That's crazy. No,
Yeah.
I love haunted houses. I love the excitement of it, and me and my cousins every year we used to go on a haunted hayride in somewhere in southern Illinois, and it was so fun. But this year we can't, which stinks. But yeah. But I think that's all we have for today. We're gonna take a short break, and we have a special guest, Braden.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, jaders. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Welcome back to Good Morning KU. I'm Gus Balo here, joined by a very special guest today, Braden Shaw, senior at KU and the managing editor at the University Daily Kansan. Braden, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this morning.
Yeah, no problem. Good to be here, Gus.
Absolutely. So, obviously, you have done a lot of things your time here at KU. Obviously, you're a senior now, and you're planning to do big things as you move on in the world. But what have you been doing over the last 4 years at KU? What have been some of the highlights that you've experienced? Maybe some of the jobs you've had, internships, or stuff you're at KU?
Yeah, so it's been kind of a bit of everything. I think that my biggest goal at KU is to get my hands in a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I remember the first week I was here, I got involved with KJHK. Within a month, I was at the Kansan. I've obviously worked a little bit on the video side as well, through classes or just extracurricular stuff. But probably the majority of my work has been at the Kansan, and also I had an internship at the Lawrence Journal World last year. So print and reporting has kind of been my thing. But yeah, no, it's been good. I've covered a lot of KU men's basketball, football, and all that entails. And just I've honestly made it a goal to try to cover every sport at KU that KU has to offer, and I think I'm pretty close. So
yeah, it's really awesome because I'm kind of doing the same thing you are. I'm a freshman, and to hear that from a senior who I'm kind of doing the same thing. That's a really good thing. So do you have any plans for maybe the future, for your last semester at KU, which is crazy to believe, I'm sure, for you. But what is your plans for your last semester as you get ready to graduate in May?
It's a little up in the air right now. I think that we've talked about maybe staying on at the Kansan, maybe going somewhere else. I know I'll probably have a pretty light class workload last semester. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. Honestly, just trying to stay busy, trying to stay working is the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to stay busy is a key thing. So we're getting to basketball season, obviously. That is coming up. We saw the Big 12 release their schedules in the last couple days. Men's and women's Big 12 schedules are coming out. So what are your thoughts on it as we are potentially seeing some early season matchups coming up for Kansas?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's one of those things that as we kind of move along and more stuff comes out, it's like, oh, this is real. Yeah. And I think that ever since COVID-19 hit and the pandemic hit, I think it's been one of those things, will there even be a basketball season, But right. I know Absolutely. That, yeah, and so I think it's encouraging, definitely, to see the schedules come out and stuff like that, but it's just weird, especially with, I know that in that schedule graphic the KU dropped, there was some TBA dates and stuff like that, so there's still some uncertainty, but it's kind of, it was interesting for sure.
We saw reports also too of potentially an early season matchup for Kansas, potentially taking on right now arguably the #1 team in the country coming into this year, the Gonzaga Bulldogs out of Spokane in Fort Myers, and an early season tournament potentially of Auburn, who I don't know, we don't really want to talk about this of KU, but Auburn did beat KU in 2019 in the round of 32. They obviously went to the Final Four that season. So what could that mean for Kansas early season, potentially a couple big early season matchups?
Well, I think you pair that with the Champions Classic against Kentucky.
That's right, yeah.
I don't see any way Kansas doesn't have the #1 strength of schedule. I don't see any way where they are not far and away the favorite in that respect. But I think it's good to have early season tests, and I think that it's kind of funny. I know one of the knocks against Gonzaga has been they don't play anybody because the West Coast Conference is, I guess hit or miss, but definitely right. Playing against Kansas and Auburn early season is going to be good for them, and I think it's a good test for Kansas too.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking into the World Series, obviously that concluded last night. The Los Angeles Dodgers won their first World Series championship since 1988. Obviously, I'm sure people remember 1988 Kirk Gibson at the walk-off home run. I remember the Vince Scully call. I wasn't alive, but I've watched it on YouTube multiple times, and that's one of my favorite calls of all time. But what have been your thoughts on the World Series with the Dodgers winning last night?
I think it's cool to see a drought or a streak end. I know that a lot of people around here, that was a big deal when the Royals won for the first time since 1985 back in 2015. And I think the Rays were fun to watch too. Randy Arozarena breaking all those records, the postseason hits record and home run record. I mean, just a young player doing that's incredible. And so I think that it's also nice, I guess, in one way to see the Dodgers finally win one after kind of making it there the last few years and not quite getting there. Clayton Kershaw getting the ring finally, so good for them.
Yeah, I'm a Red Sox guy, so I was happy when we beat the Dodgers in 2018. But no, I'm happy for the Dodgers this year that Clayton Kershaw obviously got his World Series ring finally. Dave Roberts, who's obviously been looking for one for a long time too. But I think that's all the time we have for today. So Braden, thank you so much for joining us again. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to have our news update coming up here on Good Morning KU. We'll be back.
Welcome back. I'm Mackenzie.
And I'm Gavin. This is your Wednesday Good Morning KU News Update. Election Day is now less than 1 week away, and both President Trump and Joe Biden are making their final pitches to the public. Trump spent yesterday in Nebraska while his wife Melania spoke to voters in Pennsylvania. Biden and Kamala Harris were in Florida, and recent polls show Biden leading by about 8%.
The number of positive COVID-19 test results continues to grow at the worst possible time for President Trump. According to Bloomberg, the president is counting on the big turnout of the voters next Tuesday. The Democrats appear to have an advantage with mail-in voting, and those numbers are higher than ever before. Spiking cases, numbers, and rising hospitalizations could stop many Republicans from heading to the polls in person.
In Kansas, Governor Laura Kelly and top legislators agreed yesterday to hold off on a mandatory mask order for the state. According to the state health department, Kansas set a new record in its 7-day average with 815 new positive results a day. Currently, each county government has the opportunity to opt out of the statewide mask mandate issued by Kelly on July 2nd.
On campus, KU has confirmed only 30 new positive tests over the past 2 weeks. That is a drop from earlier reports of as many as 41 and 51 new cases over a week. The University of Kansas has confirmed just over 1,100 positive tests since classes began in August.
Both the men and women's basketball teams released their schedules yesterday. The women will begin their season at home on Thanksgiving Eve against Northern Colorado, while the men will take on Kentucky on December 1st in the State Farm Champions Classic.
KU Athletics is expecting to allow around 1,200 fans into Allen Fieldhouse for each game, but as far as COVID-19 protocols, head coach Bill Self says he expects the season to be anything but normal.
But I think the NCAA has been giving advice and information from experts outside the NCAA that have the best feel on the safest way to proceed. Our season will get interrupted this year. I'm not saying Kansas's, but our basketball season, the way we know it, will not come off, at least in my opinion, because of the testing protocols. And I don't see those testing protocols changing.
That's all we have for our news update today. After a short break, Jade will be back with the weather.
Yeah, I always just clap in this part.
This is where everyone's talking amongst themselves. Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to do it?
Are we supposed to smile?
When do we start? Somebody over here already started.
Can we talk about the piccolo part? It's the most complicated one.
It is. If you listen, you're doing it when the band's not playing.
You have to tell me when it starts. I still don't know.
Here we go. Just clapping now.
No humps. Nailed it.
I practiced this morning.
Mine was just two people.
It has a right and a wrong way of doing it. No. Wrong.
I like my way better.
I don't know how to do the end.
It's just.
I don't know the head.
It's hard by yourself.
Expecting some rain tonight. That's going to last into tomorrow, and we're also expecting more warm days throughout the week, getting a little bit warmer every day into the weekend. It's not warm yet though. It's 36 degrees outside right now. Very, very slight wind coming from the northeast at 1 mile per hour and a few clouds in the sky. You can see these clouds in the satellite image we have here. They're slowly moving up from the south, covering the city for most of today. You can see that in today's forecast. The temperatures are going to stay in the low 40s. We also have a chance for some showers later this afternoon. And those are going to last into tonight. We're going to get down to 38 for our low, and the winds are going to pick up from the north-northeast at 13 miles per hour. That's also going to last into tomorrow as well. It's probably going to rain in the morning and be done by about around noon or so. Our high is going to be 48, which is a lot warmer than today, and the wind's still strong at 17 miles per hour. The Jayhawks play once again this Saturday. It'll be a lot warmer than today and tomorrow. They play the Iowa State Cyclones. It'll be around the high 50s around the time of kickoff at 11 a.m. And then by the fourth quarter, it'll be around the low 60s if people are even still watching the game. But we do have another hurricane update, if you can even believe that. This is the 11th hurricane to make landfall this season, which breaks the record in 1916 of 9 landfalls. So a very monumental hurricane season we're having here. This is Hurricane Zeta. It's projected to make landfall this evening. It's a Category 1 right now, and it's a very narrow hurricane, as you can see. And even though that will cause a lot of damage to New Orleans, which has already been hit 3 times this season, luckily the storm surge is not projected to be that bad. Back to Lawrence weather though, for your Halloween/Saturday forecast, it's going to get up to 63 degrees, lots of sunshine, beautiful day, but it's going to be clear on Saturday night, even though it's going to be very cold. So if you're wearing a Halloween costume, you might want to grab a jacket. I know I will at least. And for Sunday, it's going to be a little bit cooler than Saturday, 52 degrees, still a beautiful day with lots of sunshine. For your extended forecast, we are going to get a good amount of rain on Thursday. However, the rest of the week has a lot of sunshine and warmer weather as well. Beautiful weather on Saturday for that KU game and Halloween, and then we're going to be in the low 60s for next week. That's all we have for you today on Good Morning KU. We'll see you next week.